Fellas, good evening, welcome. First off, let's put on the big screen first. My apologies. What is up, buddy? Welcome. My apologies for not being online. Previous week I had a very rough week at work. I spent more time at work than at home. There was one day I worked 16 hours straight, so it's been a crazy week. But we'll make up for it. I kind of took 1 hour of HPAC over to this week, so that means I'm gonna do 2 streams this week, 4 hours in total. I'm gonna probably divide it, 2 hours on Annie today and then 2 hours on HPAC later this week, to kind of compensate for the lack of streaming. I did have to prepare a couple of documents for my Game Boy game as well for the publisher, so I did spend a lot of time on that as well, kind of finalizing the game design or game development document. But that's all completed. So now I have time. I'm gonna spend 2 hours working just on Doom 2 Annie, because I've been watching enjoying some Doom 3 footage again. Like, that's a game, like, every now and then I come back to that and I got that urge to play through it again. Because, while it's still not in like the same style as the original games, I do think it's an enjoyable game. And for me, it's part of the Doom series, even though it kind of stands out a little bit compared to the rest of the Doom games. But I can still enjoy it. Quake 4 as well, really enjoy that one. Even though there were a lot of people, criticizing it, but I think it's an enjoyable game, making good use of the Doom 3 engine, or the id Tech. What is it, 4? id Tech 4 engine, I think it was. Resurrection of Evil, I really enjoyed it. It was an awesome game. And I think for an expansion pack, fairly long as well. But I kind of feel like a lot of work might be already... Like, if you look at the end of Doom 3, obviously it was set up for a sequel. They designed like the Betrugger boss at the end of Doom 3, like, it was clearly set up. So I think like the boss kind of was partially finished already at the end of Doom 3. But it's fine, yeah. I would enjoy it if there were a couple of more expansion packs for Doom 3, but I have been looking at. Let's just jump in the level editor here. I can, you know, talk and do some level design at the same time. I did look up some mods for Doom 3, and I gotta say, it's very promising. Like there are a couple of very high quality mods for Doom 3. Like level design that kind of compares to the same quality of the original game. So that's pretty impressive. Now this is still very far off, but actually for like Annie 3, I'm probably gonna do that in the Doom 3 engine, or it take like for the Doom 3 game. But that's still, you know, a long way off. But yeah, that is something I would definitely like if I make it that far, you know, to pump out a third Annie story. It will be for Doom 3. I think I did make a little bit of progress off stream because I just didn't have the energy to come online. Was really exhausted. So like I kinda I did some on and off work. I did manage to pull in 2 hours of Annie level design. So it's not like I didn't do anything during this week, but yeah, sometimes, you know, thankfully it's more exception than rule. What I mainly did was actually I created. I kind of thought about the gameplay loop here. What I wanted the player to do first, and I tried to. What I did was added a couple of, you know, things, kind of changed some textures around, which I feel would fit better in this this map. I kind of changed this one as well. Wasn't really satisfied with the texture scale, so I kind of changed the textures. What I did actually was this steps I kind of lowered it because I kind of want to use a stair builder, one of the old Doom original Doom tricks in the book. So let me show you real quick what I did here. So this stair, I still have to switch off the lights. I'm gonna probably switch them on one at a time as the stairs rise. Because it would make sense, like the lights are hidden now, but they will become visible. So I think that would create a cool effect if you get the kind of like that green glow as well there. So if you walk close to the pentagram, this one drops out, and as you can see, the entrance to the sewers is blocked off, and that's why I lowered the stairs here, because let me show you real quick. You can actually access this area from that's the starting point right there. So you can access this area actually from the start, as you can see. But that means you cannot reach that tower, so I kind of had to find something to kind of delay it. You cannot also access the sewer yet, but you can run around here, experiment, like, you know, run around. You can see the exit door right here, which is closed off. So you can explore a little bit of the area, but the key locations are obviously locked. And the stair builder. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna add that switch. I still have to think about it. Like this area will become available at a later point as well, because that will be, you will need to access that area right there. There's like this one, which will lead you to wait a minute, that's wrong. I think I need to create a new one here, right here, which will lead you to the blue key area, which is right here, somewhere over here. And then you kind of get to traverse back, and you go up here, and then you can make your way to the locked portal. But I think the main line I want the player to follow, or the player has to follow, is actually this one. This is the first. So you get a nice vista here of the you know, the buildings. Then what I'm probably gonna do is probably add a switch here, because this is the natural line you follow, and because it's well, not as close to the stairs as you might think. I could work with the camera. That kind of shows you, like here, as you can see where the stairs are built. Though it would be preferable if you, well, what I can do. What I can do is lock these, this part off right here. Now, what I would probably, I'm not really sure if it's possible in GZ Doom, but I would love to disable rocket jumping, because that would totally break this level. Or I should be able to use some fence, I don't know. But the idea is that this thing travels upwards as well, so we can't really put fences in here. So that makes it a little more difficult. But I'm pretty sure there probably is an option to disable rocket jumping. It has to be. Now what I can do here is instead of these, like, I do like these. Kind of like the structure, however, I think I need to seal this off. Now what I can do, let's see what textures we have, because I think I can work with a 3D floor here. Let's first check out the textures. Let's use this for now, just to see what my options are. I kind of need something like this, but with something that kind of, you know, with some spikes at the bottom, so it's like it functions as like some sort of gate. Not really sure if there's anything available. At first sight, it doesn't appear to be. It's very. Oh, wait a minute. Might have missed a few textures. The thing is, if I use full screen on this, it always jumps to the other monitor, the second monitor. Okay, let's slowly go over them. You know, if I look at these textures, like when I was rewatching the playthrough of Doom 3 and Resurrection of Evil, I was paying attention to how these textures are actually used in Doom 3, and like it paints a totally different picture. Like, but of course the lighting does a lot, you know, and the rendering and stuff like that. I mean, this is just flat, while Doom 3 obviously has a lot of materials on these textures, so it's totally different, but still, like, they're really creative the way they used it. Like, yeah, it's impressive, and it's so full, like chock full of detail that it's sometimes I didn't even recognize certain textures at first. I really had to pause the game, like the gameplay, and just think, like, which texture is this? You know, it's insane how much like the rendering can do. It's yeah, beautiful. I'm afraid we're not gonna find anything here. Nope. Damn it, that's a shame. Okay, so let's think about this. What we can do is use, you know, the oldest trick in the book, and that is, well, which obviously works. Yeah, true. I think if I use a scale, I mean a grid. I have to be careful. Maybe I can actually... Oh dear, that is not good, but that is only because...
Just listen.
It actually looks cool. However, I think okay, let's make sure we don't mess this up. Let's remove this first, because this is still using the old method, using the 181 slope line def, or a planar line, which is in UDMF obsolete, and we can just use the new method. By the way, I actually learned, or seen in a video, Jesus Christ, I've seen in a video that apparently texture skewing does exist in GZ Doom. I'm not really sure if this version supports it, but I've seen it, like, you can use it on mid textures. So that is, again, a whole new world that opens for me. And I'm gonna have to take a look today and see like how does it work exactly. I'm not really sure if my version even supports it of GZ Doom or Ultimate Doom Builder. Yeah, Ultimate Doom Builder. But normally it should, but I'm not really sure if it's like an experimental feature still. But texture skewing is it's insane. Really cool. And that means if this works, I obviously so we may have to reset the slope on this one. If this works, that means obviously I have to go back into my other levels and make sure that it's on par. I think if we do it like this, there we go, that's kind of centered for the lights. I think, you know, this will work fine. There we go. Just reset the scale, there's no use. Hey Pinchy, what is up, buddy? Welcome. And good to see you again. What the hell is that? Okay, I think this will where is model rendering mode? That is something I definitely gonna look into. Now I wonder if where is the texture lock? Oh, that's weird. Where's the texture lock? Where are the texture lock buttons? Oh no, that's weird. Hi, oh, wait a minute. What the hell is this? I never actually. Pin, ceiling pin floor. Oh, okay. It normally should appear here, but sectors. Okay. What? Okay. Okay, that's interesting actually. Never really looked at it. I did use this one before, but okay. Oh, they do change. Okay, that actually matches perfectly. Thank God. Okay, so let's yeah. So we can lock this off naturally, like, you know, without having to kind of mess up this nice arch we did here. We can actually play around a bit with it. Now, the thing is, if I use this as a door, I can use each individual texture or sector as a door. Let's actually try it. And it kind of depends on I'm not really sure if it takes this arch into account. Or if it stops right here, because they're at different heights, meaning, you know, if they reach the ceiling, they would stop like, I think 8 units below the ceiling. A regular door, is it 8 units below? I think so. Let's see. Okay. Let's use this one just to see when player bumps. Action, door open. Let's see how they behave first. 74. Okay. Well, let's try. When I bump. Oh, that's nice. So it does take the slope into account. That's pretty awesome. And well, I'm gonna have to do it this way, using a camera. Because it's far off control center. Well, not too far off. But it's like, it's not like a full, this is like the final part of one bigger level, so so we put the switch here, or maybe here, like in the corner. Like I kind of want to, let's see, can we actually, could create like a 3D floor here, platform you can walk on. I think I got an idea. So you could, let's see, is there a way to, you could go through here, walk up here, but then you still wouldn't be able to access that part. So you would have to travel back. Of course, this opens up a nice chance for an ambush. I mean, for like, you know, you can spawn in some monsters, having to fight your way back. And then enter here. And then if you enter this sector, you can actually, the stairs starts to build. You can go up here, activate that, enter the sewer. As you can see, there we go. And then make your way to the blue key, which will be located, you know, in this part right here. Then you go back through here, and you can make your push to, like, the stairs are built here then, but you can actually easily jump here, go here, and then you are at the blue key door. So the flow is, let's say, It was quite well. Well, initially I thought to actually make a loop here. However, I'm probably gonna... I decided to remove these areas because they no longer serve like the initial purpose. I intended for you know, the gameplay, because this map was this was gonna be like a standalone map, but I kind of repurposed it for this. So since I cannot use all keys because I use them here in these sections, I well, I kind of need to repurpose that, obviously. So okay. Well, the map is pretty close to finalization. What I'm gonna do here, this is the final area, but I'm gonna make like a turbo lift, because you have been climbing from the start. You have been climbing up. So this is the lowest part of the map. Then you enter this section, which is higher, and then here you're finally for the first time above ground. And then I'm gonna make a turbo lift, which takes you down again, like really deep into the core of this map, and that's where you're gonna do like a well, like a final fight of the map, like an arena. I'm gonna make the arena. I'm gonna make it because the general theme of this map is kind of I use a lot of poly objects. Like a lot of machinery, and I kind of wanted to add that difficult thing where you actually have to make your way through like crushers, you know, like have it like really like an interactive arena where I think what would be interesting if I were to create some traps that the player can actually use by activating switches. You know, like lure monsters into on a certain platform and then press a switch to crush them. You know, stuff like that. I think it would be interesting to kind of make the player like play around. What I even can do to actually make that more interesting is if the player falls down, or at some point maybe strip the weapons, where you're kind of forced to use these traps. It would be a different take on just, you know, using your weapons and just keep pumping. Maybe like do something where you can actually use those traps to kind of clear the area. But it would have to find like a way to kind of strip the weapons in a believable way for it to make a little sense. Maybe. Like a corrupted teleporter. Or like a passage where you kind of, you have to go through, and then like it destroys your weapons, something like that. I think it would be interesting, no? And then, you know, like you can open some parts where you can actually regain your weapons after some time. But at least in the beginning, to make the arena interesting, you could, you know, force you just like with your you only have your fists, so you kind of have to use these traps. I think it will be an interesting take on like every other arena I use in this project so far. So I'm probably gonna go with that, which, you know, I'm gonna write down in case I forget, and I do forget. So let's see. So level 3 arena ID. Strip weapons. Yeah. Now I have to see how this, you know, this will require some testing, obviously. To see what works and what doesn't, what kind of traps work. But you know, if you like have a huge round crusher in the middle of the map, I mean, I think it kind of plays out by itself now. We'll see. But it will be fun to kind of use like different types of machinery, maybe something what I did here. Or like a fire trap. I don't know. We'll see. Let's first make sure this so this means it's actually safe to we put something behind here, maybe? Like a secret? Yeah, I think so. Doesn't look familiar. Not really sure where I used that one. I forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah, I think this one. Hey, Morlap, what's up, buddy? Well, that's okay. Thank you for tuning in. Change the category? Really? Because it did. What is the category? Is it still heretic? Rip. Oh shit. That's not good. Still, I used it last time as well. That's why I probably didn't get many many views, probably. Let's see. Can we still alter it? Let's have a quick look. Might be interesting to indeed settings, no. Edit event. If it's still possible. The only thing is, wait, rip out indeed. Oof. To hell on earth. There we go. We save that one. I think YouTube recognizes it by itself. It's just on Twitch, I think. I saved it. Not really sure if it's updated, but I did. Yeah. Okay. Run. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's actually, it looks pretty cool. Shit. I kind of like that. Unintentionally. It's unintentional, but I'm gonna roll with that. Okay, that looks, that's a nice side effect. What the function of this is, let's say it's a safeguard, so you can drop down and not immediately get dropped into slime. And there's a nice room for a secret here. There we go. Okay. What we can do is actually give a reason why this is here. There we go. Yeah. No, the only thing I need to do is actually create a way out of this. Because you can jump on here, but can need a way out as well. Where? There's not a lot of room. Here? Could create a 3D floor. Just 50, that one. Let's see. So that's unused 75. There are a lot of tags in this map, but that will allow us to kind of let's actually and then we can Hey database, what is up buddy, welcome, good to see you. All good man here, thank you so much. Let's join. I think this might be the way to do it. That will kind of maybe oh, because I didn't I never got your message, your PM, which is very weird. I think this is better because then you kind of get to keep the green light. Well, I'm gonna check the Discord. Like, let me know if you send it. Oh, you sent, okay. So I'm gonna have to give this a new tag. Hold on. I think this might be enough. I think maybe one more to kind of make that step a little easier. I think I'm gonna put it a little closer together as well. Like that. So we have a little more room. That needs one more. 77. Once you set up the base, it's easy to make these adjustments. So 1, 2, and these 1, 2 as well. There we go. Well, it's more like an emergency solution because I didn't take these things into account. It's just like a step. What it could probably do. I could make a ramp, like a 3D sloped sector. Slightly narrower. Yeah, it is. It is. Because I didn't want to put this against the wall because it would take away the glowing effect. Which does look weird. Like this is pressed against the wall, but there's like this is of equal height to this. And this is not. So let me show you real quick. I can show you what I mean. So as you can see, you got a glow here. If I press this against the wall, see the glow is gone. No, I can do it like this. Then you get this weird effect. Although, it doesn't look too bad actually now I look at it. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in game because it usually looks slightly different. See, that's what I meant. It does look a little bit inconsistent. Well, you know, technically it should. Hold on just a second.
Let me see it again. 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 see again. Let me 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 see again. the tough shit. Yeah.
Apologies, my dear friends. I had an urgent phone call. Oh, we got the spam bots already in. That's right, database, give it to him. Let's see, a ladder would be nice. Yes, actually, I do think I have a ladder texture. Let's, not really sure how to get a functional ladder in GZ Doom. But I feel like it might come in handy. So what I'm gonna do is so in case we mess up or we decide that it might not be viable, there is draw. Thank you so much. Is there like where is oh wait, here it is, texture lock. Where was it before? Okay, well it's back, that's good. So the texture lock was on, that's why it kept changing. Now I'm not really sure. Hold on, let me open up Discord real quick. Let me see. Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. Now I do have a ladder texture. There it is, database. I got your demo, so let's save that. I'm gonna play it at the end of the stream. Now what I'm thinking, hold on, let's see if this works. Can you actually use line defs as a ladder function? Because I actually have a perfect texture for this. Let's see. Only thing is I have to decide where to put it. So what I can do here, let's see, I think this one works really well. I really like the texture. So, and now we kind of divide it into two, and like I kind of want a ladder like this. But can you make it climbable? Is there like an option? Because I do have a perfect texture for this. Hold on, let me show you real quick. I have to go through a ton of textures. This one, or this one. Oh. All right, let's use lower unpegged. That might do wonders. And then horizontal 1, vertical 2. It's actually it's a good size, but I can always drop it down like that. Like that. Now the only thing is, you can put it here against this one. Might look a little better. So now the only thing is, like, can we make this climbable, this line def? Is there like an... Can you make a line def ladder? I thought that I could have sworn there was like I have to look it up. No. Climbing ladders. You need a straight line def. There is, wait, I think there's a trick. Now, what you can do, no player bumps, and we need trusting up force, I don't know, maybe 20. Now the only thing what I need is front side only. So if player bumps, it's repeatable. Because this ladder doesn't really need or requires you to climb down. You know, it's just for to get out of the pool while still preserving some space. It doesn't seem to work. Maybe it's because of the player tag, I don't know. Maybe... player... jump over railing. Or maybe the thrust speed. Huh. Okay. That is so weird. It works without.
You are in danger.
That is super strange. This just works without any... If the only thing is I have to press jump. But it does seem to work. Hey, who am I to complain? It works. If it works, it works. It saves me a lot of trouble. Well, not that much, but okay, so we got these three, which are no longer required. Brilliant. Create this. Let's make this door a little slower. The only downside about slow doors is that the sound doesn't See, the sound stops already. Yeah, it's a little too slow. Let's make it normal, 16. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Probably need to be consistent when it comes to elevators. I'm not really sure how I use them in other maps. Is there always a switch present, or can I just activate it by use or bump into it? I think bump. Where was the elevator? Oh, here. I think for most elevators I used a different texture. This one is also nice. Stretch is fairly nice as well. See, that's the downside of having too many choices. You kind of lose consistency. I think I used one of the rusty textures. Only downside is I don't think I used them here, so I don't know where it's located exactly. I can't remember the name. Damn it. It's kind of weird that I didn't use it in this specific map, because it definitely would fit here. Definitely belongs in the more rusty texture group. With a cross, it has a cross on it as well. Yeah, it's definitely from the Doom 3 texture pack, not this one. Kind of resembles this, but then filled in. How can I not see it? Dear God, man. Alright. Where do I use it? Here, this is the one. CVC raw CV cross. Sidestep are sluggish, yeah. The thing is, like, this method for some reason doesn't require anything. If I just press jump when setting against this texture, the player climbs up automatically. Not really sure if that's defined somewhere in map info. I have absolutely no idea. It's a mystery to me. A pleasant mystery. What a mystery. To be completely honest, I kind of like that other texture better. And of course it doesn't work because I saved it. Shit. Can you remember the name? The one I used before? Oh, maybe I can find it again. Oh god, that's impossible. Oh, now I find it. No. Give me the mid texture walkable. Ah. Okay. Well, I had set it to walkable as well, but without the trust. Here it is. Maybe we can repeat it. Does that look better? I still feel it's... And of course we have to make sure this is filled in as well. There we go. So. When player bumps. Platform. Oh yeah. Lower weight race. Does it have? elevator. Lower to nearest floor. I just want a simple, like a platform. Lower weight, that's the simple one. That's what I want. Do we need to give that a separate line, like a sector tag? Can't remember. Nope. Okay, I can live with that. And what I can do actually to prevent the player from let's set this. Let's do it. Give it the same thing. 64. I do want the speed. The fast lift. 62. Fast. Repeatable action, and I want the front side only. When player walks over. This should kind of have that working elevator. So if you, there we go. Let's make sure. Okay, it does finish. I think I forgot to set it to repeatable. Yeah. Okay, so let's try that again. Make sure we don't break the lift by doing this. So only if you approach the lift from that side. Now if I bump again, it does finish. Yeah, that's fine. So only if you, it makes sense if you walk on the elevator. Now let's see what happens. Ah, shit. Too slow. Now, if I walk over this again. Okay. Platform finishes its movement first, so that's good. Okay, perfect. Got that working. Simple elevator. Nothing too spectacular. So let's see. Let's head back to. It looks impossible to do, yeah. It finishes its movement first, so that's good. That's now even if that were to happen, it's still not a huge issue. If you bump before it's completely down, worst case scenario, it would just interrupt its movement and come back, which would be fine as well. It's not anything like is game breaking when it comes to this mechanic, so that's fine. Might be. This kind of feels a little bit out of place. We do have, well, maybe like maybe a little bit of green doesn't harm. Let's see if we can actually use these torches here. I probably would have to spread these Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Okay. Oh, it's still the Z-Doom thing.
Dark wave.
Okay, we can actually... I never noticed that before. Is that a new update? Look at the lights glowing. I thought it was static.
Dark wave.
Is that new? Or did I just never notice it before? No, we can actually use these in different locations.
Dark wave.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, is it? Like this then? Okay. I do not like that. So what we're gonna do... Oh wait, that is actually intentional. Ah, I know, I understand why. It's because these bricks kind of align. Okay, no worries. We can actually... We'll burn something more natural. Jeez. Do you hear that? What's my bone here? Sometimes it cracks. Should probably have it looked after. I don't know.
Dark wave.
Let's see. What texture to use?
Break it down.
We do something. Actually, it doesn't really fit here.
Dark wave.
If I change that to... Oh, I do like this texture, man. Definitely gives that, brings back that Doom 3. Such a nice texture. I kind of like that dirty, rusty look, you know? But I feel like it feels a little bit out of place here. I kind of want something in line with this. Not really sure what though. Or I could do something. Not everything has to be super detailed, but What I can do, just bring it back to the same height. And that actually... yeah, that's also a solution. There we go, problem solved. I guess. And well, no, I think that's quite alright. What I can do here is it's pretty straight. What I can do, let's see, let's make it curve. 90, fixed circular curve. And I want the angle. Can it be in the negative? Minus 50? No, wait, you can't. I think it looks fine. Okay. So what we can do now, I think this will cut it. Now, I'm not really sure how it relates to scale, but this is an option. Now, what might be a little bit better suited to stay in the color scheme. There are some nice pictures here. This, for example. And what if we like that? See? And what we didn't do here, which I always forget, is to apply shade to the ceiling. I use it actually throughout my projects, and actually works really well. It's a simple method to create this natural shadow. Now what we can do here, to kind of draw a little bit of attention to this. Huh? Can use the stair builder method. Single steps, distinct sectors, that's what we need. Now, what we can create here is a very simple light, and the texture I usually go for in these instances is we can actually go for this. The only thing is, the downside is we have to do it manually. Ceiling textures. Now this takes a little bit of time. However, if you do it properly, you can really have a very nice result. You kind of have to play around with it a little bit, but it has that perfect kind of trim. But you can make this texture if you want. Like, obviously it's repeatable. It's not a seamless texture, but you can, because we do divide it into different smaller sectors. And if we use alignment, texture alignment, we can actually shape this the way we want it. So let me show you real quick. As you can see, you can already see it here. So if we just use this, there we go, we have a fairly, I say fairly, this one is actually not aligned properly. There we go. So that makes it pretty seamless. Now what we can do here is we're gonna remove texture. We're gonna put the brightness up to full, and we're gonna give it a glow. 69 to get that color, and give it a nice shade. There we go. What I want to do, we can do, suppose you kind of want to dim these lights a little bit. We can do that to make it more seamless, but we can also, this one is also not properly aligned, it seems. No, we're gonna have to do it differently. Like this. Actually, no. Should be like this. And then we should manually, yeah. There we go. And the thing is, we have to do it manually for this one as well. You can't just copy paste it. But the idea is here. So we're gonna tone it down just a little bit. And let's see how it looks. Yeah. So in editor, it looks a little bit different. It stretches, the light stretches out a little further. Which is fine. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna place, to kind of break up the darkness, I'm gonna use a light source and probably use one of the newer ones. Ceiling lantern. Now we do have black chandelier, I'm not really sure. Can actually use it here, I think. See, as you can see, like this, the lighting, it's not really very clear, but you can obviously stretch it down. Now what we're gonna do before we actually, let's give it the same color. We can worry about the texture alignment later. Like the chandelier kind of breaks that complete darkness from the ceiling a little bit. I think it works pretty nice. You can actually create like while we're at it, let's, because it kind of, it feels a little bit out of place, but if we use a different texture on this one, kind of want to maybe and instead of the rock texture, let's give it like a hellish flesh texture. This, for example. Wow, that's badass. And then you know there is you can create this a little larger even, maybe like excuse me. Jesus. Let's I see. That's why it doesn't work. There we go. And so we have created here is some kind of entrance which is sealed off. Kind of leaves you. I'll leave this up to the player imagination. Could be anything really behind this. Sort of indicate like, okay, this is a city of steel, but there are some hellish elements still present. Even though it's mostly, as you can see, I use it here, it's gonna go throughout, so it only makes sense to have this a little bit of a shrine here. What I can do is kind of reward the player. Like, let's open this up a little bit. Like this, for example. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Obviously, this has to be different for now. Let's remove it first, so I can have proper alignment. There we go. And I think it's better to actually go along with this. Let's see, something like this. I'm not really sure if maybe. This actually. Okay, let's see. Okay. 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 Oh, damn it. Wait, I can actually... Kind of climbs. This one bothers me. Okay, we can actually... see if we can actually have something no. Son of a bitch. Let's make the shape a little more natural. Thing is, if I use this on the inside, it doesn't align properly anymore for some reason. Now it does, obviously. Yeah. Okay, that was the original shape, apparently. Okay. We'll figure something else out. Let's leave it for now. Actually, the original idea was to just, you know, get some filler for the ceiling, but what I can do without going overboard, because this is kind of inviting, you know, to I don't want it to be too inviting, because otherwise the player might think there's like a secret. We don't want that. Let's see if we actually... Light source. Why not a simple candle? I mean, it doesn't have to be spectacular all the time. Let's just flip this. There we go. Actually brighten this place up a little bit as well. Kind of like that the light kind of reaches towards the bottom of these sculptures or wall decorations. What I actually can do to create... this might be overkill, but let's use a little bit of vertex magic here. So what we create now is... And I forgot one, I think. 3. Oh, that's weird. Ah, wait. Yeah, this one. That's too bad. Okay, I think... Can we actually... By manipulating these? No, we cannot. Ooh, it's a dangerous game. Can we... I guess there's no way to do it nice. Well, there's actually a way to make use of this room, or this of course we this might be overkill again, especially with the candles. Now I can replace the candles with or I could replace these with hang marine. There we go. That's more a little less inviting. Nothing says no entry like a hang marine on the ceiling, right? Let's see. Yeah. Let's just go with this. Alright, so let's wrap this up. Now what we can actually we can do to make sure this is communicated, because I kind of use a light code throughout this mod, and these textures are actually used for doors to indicate that orange means it's switch operated, so it's not accessible. That's kind of okay. Let's leave it. What I can do to make sure, like this red is I use it for a door which is totally not accessible. So the player knows that if he comes across a door with like the red markings, and he knows this door will never open. This is communicated throughout episode 1 early on. Green is you can just pass it. Orange is you need to find a switch to open the door. And red is it's not accessible. So if I use this specific lighting here, I think I can actually just use red. I think it communicates that this area is not accessible. What I can do here, something that's very cool, if I there is a very interesting hellish door. This one. So what I need to do, let's see. Let's put it back here for just a second. Can we Okay, let's first actually start by doing it like this, and then we can actually manipulate this. Let's see. We need horizontal 0.5. That end. And we can actually cut it off here. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Okay. Probably want, in order to stay consistent with texture. Let's see. Really? Hey, Tunas, what is up, buddy? How is mapping going? Actually, fairly well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Let's do it like this. And then we can actually, the texture, there we go. There's a little bit more, I made a decent amount of progress, yeah. Happy with the result. Oh, you were sick? I feel like the door can it work? I don't know. I don't know if it looks good. Is it convincingly? Maybe I should just scrape that door. I don't feel it. Well, let's just leave it like that. It's a nice texture. Let's not ruin it. Oh. Well, not good. Okay, well, yeah, at least that's some good news. Maybe. I feel like in this case, we should go with the old Penty. No, it's not bad. We're getting pretty close to completion when it comes to this map, geometry-wise at least. There's still, you know, monster placement, items, testing, stuff like that, but for the most part, it's this is just the last bits. There is, I still have to kind of create the last arena, but that's like a small room. So it's, you know, it's not like it's gonna take months. I think, yeah, it's always sad when an animal dies. Is it like, you know, chickens, people underestimate the intelligence of chickens. They can actually make these like sort of like calculations, you know, they can count, actually count, so that's pretty intelligent animals. But you know, if the chicken is old, that means she had a good life, you know. So that's, I think, the best you can give her. Yeah, they're curious, yeah. Okay, I think time is up. I'm gonna hit the sack as well. I'm pretty tired. It's been like I said in the beginning, it's been a rough week. Oh, a rooster's favorite. Okay. Well, that's saying something. So I'm gonna catch some much needed sleep. I will be back this week with another 2-hour stream working on the Heretic map. And like I said, both maps are pretty close to completion. It's, I always forget I have to build some sector portals here as well, but it's gonna be minimal because I do have like a separate skybox, as you can see here. So that saves a lot of trouble. But I still want, like, for some buildings like this, for example, I do need sector portals. So I'm gonna, but it's like I said, it's minimal. Nothing too huge. Something with nice slopes, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right, thank you for tuning in, fellas. Have a great evening. And I will see you next time. Take care.